Three, two, one. Hey, ho, head it up. Once again, welcome back. Much love, Trav here. Hope you're doing awesome. I believe in you. Today's gonna be awesome and fun. Trust me. As we are back with Green Red Marvel once again. Pro Tour Ireland getting sooner and sooner. This is definitely would be my first choice, but we'll see how things shake up. Maybe they print some crazy graveyard hate. I have my itinerary. I'm getting there on the Saturday. I'm very excited. I'm gonna get the mountain here. It's gonna be great. If you or someone you know is qualified and wants an extra point of reference, hit me up. I have a couple videos explaining my team process, but I just feel like the more collaboration, the better. I'm over secrecy, secrecy over deck, secrecy over strategies, secrecy over business is a good way to get super inbred and have a suboptimal strategy that not enough people have invested in and lose. So I like to talk to people, and I will be available for that at the very, not necessarily here's my list, maybe, but at the very least, here's what our gauntlet is, here's what we think the metagame is, here's what we think, etc. So we'll be able to exchange the basic and important info. Harness Lightning is what's up. Prevents us from going the fuck off right now, but that's aight. What else? Yeah, so Wizards gave me a 30-day, a little bit of insider. If you're on the Pro Tour, they buy your plane ticket. It's just a $900 budget voucher. So, which is good. That's definitely good. I'm definitely happy with that. However, I live right now in a really remote place, and I'm looking at even more remote places. Ooh, which I want to talk about. Ooh, I want to talk about that. But they wouldn't. It wasn't in the budget for me to stay for more than 30 days from how far I'm going. It wasn't in the budget to get me to San Francisco, so I'm gonna have to buy a bunch more plane tickets to make this travel work. I'm flying in and out of Dublin the 27th of January, 27th of February. I'm gonna play the Marvel. I don't think it's wrong to play it now. It's very unlikely the opponent has an answer, main deck Nahiri, and this optimizes our mana next turn, gets us extra energy, so it gives them a little bit of surprise. Weird, the Harness Lightning themselves, I have no idea what just happened. Are they playing Marvel? Are they playing Marvel? They're at 6 energy. We might be up at Jank Homebrew. Alright, I want to talk about a couple things. So, we've been talking about Cult Mind Control. And one of the things about Cult Mind Control is that I didn't mention about part of the, you have unfreezing, changing, programming, and then freezing. So part of the programming and the unfreezing, they'll isolate people. Ideally, they isolate people on cult compounds, retreats, stuff like that. And the really, really vicious ones will like fuck with your sleep to make you more manipulatable. But I've been thinking like one of the reasons that I'm into cult research is because I've been staying at these intentional communities, and I know some of those intentional communities to devolve into cults. So I'm thinking about the one, I want some actual feedback. Tell me if this sounds safe. The one I was at, or if it was a destructive cult. I don't think so, but I want more points of reference. It was, first of all, I was very happy there in the time that I was there. And I thought it was not destructive. It seemed good and healthy. There was certainly a leader, and he owned the land, but he was fair and didn't claim to be a messiah or anything like that. Like, I wouldn't describe him as, he didn't seem like a cult leader. Did the opponent disconnect or what's up? He's thinking. So, and whatever, this conversation is important. Didn't seem like a cult leader. But definitely they do things like they want you to follow, not necessarily, they don't require you to actually do everything, but they follow this guru Paramahansa Yogananda, And one of the things is like during the meditation, it's like, so this is the posture we sit upright. And I'm like, well, why can't I lie on my face? Because I like child's pose and I want to be able to put my feet up. I don't want to sit for an hour, pool blood in my lower extremities. And person, this is wasn't the cult leader or whatever. It's like that's just the way it is. The gurus know or whatever. It's like what the fuck? This is pretty prescriptive. I don't know about this, right? So I'm gonna crack this puzzle knot, and we're gonna marvel. Maybe the opponent harnessed lightning for energy, so they have unlimited black. Are we gonna get stasis snared as a possibility? Possibility of stasis snare, so it wouldn't be super unreasonable to wait a turn. But I will definitely jam Emrakul if we get it. There's no Emrakul. There is an Ishkanah, but we don't have Delirium. There's a Harness Lightning, which could be good, but or another Marvel, which is not quite enough energy to keep going. I'm gonna go get a tune with Aether because we could use some more mana and we could use some more energy. We could hit our land drop. I wouldn't mind it. Either getting a mountain or a plains. We have two Chandras and we have one Nahiri. Which one is better? I would say that Chandra's going to be better because we have two of them. And then we'll play another puzzle knot. Then we can keep going off. Um, one of the rules of the community is no smoking or drinking, and they don't want you to smoke or drink when you're off. So that's obviously restrictive and is going to limit a lot of people. But most people, it's like see it as a cleanse and go along with it. It's good. There was one woman who, on Halloween, she was acting super drunk, and there's some weird stuff going on with her. Like everyone kind of sensed, and then she was like couple days later, she was taken off in an ambulance, and that was slightly sketchy. I think stasis. I have a read on stasis there. She was taken off in an ambulance, and we're told that she was having trouble breathing, and her tent was filled with vodka bottles, which is I believed that it seemed real. Four card types. So what is safer? Is it safer to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Is it safer to Marvel, crack mana and Marvel, or is it safer to play an Ishkanah? Oh, we have enough mana to do both. So let's go ahead and Marvel and Emrakul. Cast it. So that was kind of weird. There was also a guy who was there who definitely got the cult vibe. I was like, "Hey man, how do you feel about prescriptive spirituality?" He's like, "I can't do it." And then we think he made up a story about his girlfriend needing a liver transplant so that he was able to escape the cult. And that was pretty that was pretty weird. Um they don't it's like guests pay and leave and people can stay. It just doesn't seem there's unlicensed disintegration. It just didn't really seem destructive in any way. So what do you think? It was definitely culty. Scrap heap scrounger. Hmm. So we can send in the copter and we can send in some. Okay, we can send in the motorists. I don't know why people keep playing at this point. Most people seem to like it. Scrounger. Block. Oh no, copter, where you at? What else relevant info? So, I really like the region. I would like to go back there and start off by staying there. 5 energy. Maybe I should have. Whatever. Black. Black. I fucked up by not doing that first, so they would take 3 damage, but it's whatever, like, we win. I don't want to be leaving in a fucking ambulance, but also I'm not drinking vodka bottles, so I don't know what's up with that. She was trying to get clean, I guess, out there. So does that sound like a cult to you? We have internet, there's cars you can rent and go places. It seemed like they frown on you doing certain things. They definitely frown on you taking the car and breaking the rules, but they have the rules, right? So I don't know. It seems like not a cult, but I just want to like be very, very careful and safe before I go back. Or maybe it is a cult, and cults are not so bad. So what I would normally do here is bring in a bunch of removal. Um, veteran, although I'm not sure how good Kozilek's return is going to be. We can definitely cut these grapples. Tower is never getting used, it sucks. I don't really want to actually cut Emrakul's. I don't think World Breaker is really better. We could cut a Nahiri and a Chandra. I don't like to cut all of them because they can be good and the use is nice. I think I might be down to cut a couple Harness Lightnings. That seems crazy, but it's like 4 or 5, 6. If we're going to go with 8 removal spells, I want 4 G-Bombs, I want 2 Kozilek's returns, and Harness Lightning is kind of slower on the draw. I'm not going to board Natural State, so maybe that's just straight up wrong. I could be cut the 2 Planeswalkers, but I don't want to go too low on them. Overall, though, the study of cults was very entertaining, freaked me out a whole lot. I found some of it to be really useful for resistance to persuasion, and some of it to really uncover how to be a more powerful persuader. One thing you will never see from me is me claiming that I'm a messiah. You will definitely that I had a vision from Jesus that the world is going to end, and that he asked me to pick up his work. You will definitely never see that from me. So, do we want to plains? I should have kept, I guess I'm going to get a mountain. Perhaps that was wrong. This draw, I don't really like it very much unless we draw a Marvel. As is, we don't have Delirium with the cards available to us, and we don't really have a way to take stuff over, and we don't really have removal either, so maybe I was supposed to mulligan this, I don't know. Hoping the opponent slows down to kill this thing, because we don't really need it. This is a hand where we can easily just draw Marvel and fucking Raffle Stomp. What's interesting is Harness Lightning would be better than those G-Bombs right now, so maybe, just maybe, that was a fuck up. I find it kind of hard to sideboard for this matchup. I know that Chandra's going to be bad. Nahiri would be a pretty good draw, actually, because it would let us get a Planeswalker in our graveyard to Delirium, while clearing off Smuggler's Copter and providing a life speed bump. Yes, interesting. Don't mind that one. A bit on the slow side. Opponent's a bit on the slow side. What else can I tell you that's useful right now? I played EDH yesterday and I won. I was handed a deck. My strategy was team up with everyone, never attack anyone, and complain loudly about how bad my draw was while setting up to an infinite combo, waiting for other people to kill themselves off and then going infinite when the window was clear. Forest. It's currently pretty rough. I'm gonna go with the Puzzle Knot and another Servant. So we basically have to draw a Marvel within a couple turns. I've been studying communication. Some of you might have seen my other channel, which you should check out. YouTube.com/TravisWoo. Study of eye contact communication, and I found that really useful because I conspired with one guy. He looks at me, give him the wink. You can wink on a side where no one else can see it, and then look, wink, and then look to the target, right? Pretty funny and effective stuff. Opponent's attacking with the Scrounger. I'm definitely going to block. Definitely going to block. Slow them down. Try not to die. Get a creature in our graveyard. A lot of reasons to do that. So best cards to draw: Marvel number 1. Um, Ko's Return might be decent. Vessel would be decent. Um, Nahiri would be decent. Opponent has no cards. Did they keep? Let's see. I want to see if they kept or not. It's relevant. Put a card on top. Put a card on bottom. Okay. Vessel is not terrible. Very interesting. So we have the mana to Vessel and to Puzzle Knot, but not to crack Puzzle Knot. So I'm going to do this. Gain up to 13. Even if the opponent kills our Servant, they're still going to do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're almost certainly safe for a turn. Key to the City is interesting. Clue cracking. Crack-a-lacking them clues, bruh. We can play an Ishkana, but the opponent can clue right through it, so we need to not die. That's very important. Definitely trading with the Motorist. And then we'll take 3, 6, 7, 8 down to 5. And we can Ishkana, and the opponent could buff their Copter to a 4 through the Ishkana, and we could survive for a turn, and then untap double Puzzle Knot. So we actually have a window of victory. Green, or we can hit something really good. Alternatively, like a Marvel would be decent. Emrakul, how close are we to Emrakul? 3 card types. We're going to get from 3 to 4, 5. It's too far off. I'm going to get the Marvel and not the Emrakul. Well, hang on. I'm going to recount. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'd get to 5 and it would cost 8. It's too far away. I'm going to get the Marvel, but I don't think that's our plan right now, actually. I'll run the math quickly on our turn to make sure, but I think that's not the plan. 6. We're going to take 8 down to 5. Opponent has 1 card left. So if we play, then they played their land. That was definitely wrong. They're supposed to hold that to Key to the City. They definitely fucked that up. And that means we're almost 100% safe to play Ishkana. We have Delirium. The opponent can key the Smuggler's Copter through as a 4/4, but we're at 5 life, so the opponent should have kept the land, tapped the key, end of turn, untapped, paid 2 to draw a card, and they'd have 2 cards instead of 1. So they fucked that up. Declaration in Stone would kill us right now, I suppose. What else would kill us? Unlicensed Disintegration. And they have... Opponent doesn't have any energy, which is nice. Let's see what they discard here. Motorist. They have no energy left, which is good for us. I agree with people who say don't play Aether Hub in these decks. It's too loose. Alright, so what's interesting is we're at 1. There's another Ishkana. And we can Marvel, but it seems like a better plan to have a bunch of life and then harness lightning the Copter with no attacks. The opponent's doing key correctly this time. So we should have a window here. Wait for them to key before we harness lightning, because otherwise they would pick a different one. Yeah, this mana base also gets worse because I bet you they boarded out their harness lightnings correctly, but then Aether Hub is kind of incorrectly in the deck because they don't have enough fixing for it. Aether Hub is just a pretty shitty card outside of very heavy energy decks. Tendo Ice Bridge was never good. It's probably better to have tapped lands because they could use that scrounger. Okay. Opponent definitely hoping that we're dead. But I've got a surprise for you, buddy. Okay. Let's see if the opponent's going to let us block. Interesting. Did they not use it? That's pretty weird. Transgress the mind. Well, they can't cast it, so it makes sense. Harness lightning. Although transgress would be very good against us, because if they take our marvel, we can't do a whole lot. Yeah, by the way, this deck's just insano. Planned there's a good chance I just play it at the Pro Tour, no secrets. Test against me, bros. See if you can beat me. A good card versus us is Magmatic Chasm. Not creatures without flying can't block this turn. That would be a good bet. Okay, so what's the best way to not die? Is it to Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot for 3 life, and then we're taking 3 damage? I think it's to Marvel. And if we hit a Kozilek's return, sure. If we hit Nemrical, we win. It's always a good spot. There's an Ahiri or another Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot to me feels like the best bet because at this point we're very far ahead and we just want to not die. We can definitely lose to a Fragmentize, but it's more likely we'd lose to a Magmatic Chasm, which we're still dead to, or a like a unlicensed disintegration. Now we're out of burn range, which is nice. And on the next turn, we can get firmly out of range by gaining 6 and marveling again. And again, we can hit that Emrakul. Opponent plays a tapped land. Or are they tapping mana? Tapped land. Good sign for us. Discarding a mountain. Going to 4. Key to the City is good against us, but when we're lucky, what can you do? Traverse. We have 6 card types. So we're pretty close to casting an Emrakul. I'm just going to start off by marveling. There's Emrakul. That'll do it. If the opponent doesn't concede, I don't know what's up. So let me know, does it sound safe to go back to this place? I think so. It doesn't seem that culty. Or maybe it's just not. There's a difference between cults and non-destructive cults. If you want to know how to fucking crush shit at Magic, I got you, bro. Links at the top of the description. Follow that. Enjoy it, yo. Ship the turn. No reason to attack. Do we want them to draw? No. Not that bad. Transgress the mind. Can't even be cast. What we can do is have them attack. It's a terrible attack, bro. What are you doing? And we can go... There's a couple ways to block. It doesn't matter too much. I'm just going to try to spend no time thinking about it. That's the key to life. Key to life. Could have blocked in a way that the opponent lost their Thraben Inspector. But it's whatevs. We've got 16, 17, 18, 19 coming in. Marvel again. I'm going to Marvel looking for a burn spell or something. I guess we'll Emrakul again, sure. Okay. Cast it. Yo, if you like Magic and want to fucking crush shit and win more, follow the link below. Get the ebook, check it out. Check out the mastermind training program. And the filthy casuals and concerned individuals, leave your comments, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Much love. I'm driving up to Seattle today, by the way. It's going to be epic. So speak with y'all soon. Take action. Yeah.